The OCD and Anxiety Podcast by Robert James Coaching. Hello and welcome to the OCD and Anxiety Podcast, where we explore how to have a more positive relationship with anxiety disorders, taking back control so that you can start living the life you choose and not the one chosen by your fears. Hello and welcome to episode 132. I hope that you guys are doing very well today. If you do happen to be struggling with OCD and anxiety, you can get a free session with me. To get that, all you need to do is to head over to my website, www.robertjamescoaching.com, and there you can leave me a message and we can arrange the free session. In today's podcast, we take a look at why with OCD it can feel like you're kind of stuck in sinking sand. We've all been there. We all know what that horrible feeling is like, where you feel like you have no other option but to perform the compulsion. But this is completely not true. And today we're going to be discussing why that's not true and what you can actually start doing. Some of the amazing and different approaches that you can take that can really help you to take back your power and to realize that you're, at any point you can get yourself out of this quicksand. If you find this podcast helpful, and I assume you do as you're here, it would be brilliant if you could follow and like on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Robert James Coaching UK. And also if you could subscribe to the podcast. So that's it. And with no further delay, we'll get right into it. I really hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, then please do let me know. Many thanks. We all know that sinking feeling. The thought, the trigger, the sensation, whatever it is, suddenly appears and that sense of dread hits. I can't deal with this, we tell ourselves, as the anxiety increases and we start the process of performing whatever our compulsion may be. I remember this all too well. The feeling of sinking, of going under, is related to the sense, I think, of powerlessness that so often accompanies OCD. I don't have a choice, or it was too overwhelming, is what people often say in this situation. The truly frustrating thing is that somehow, people are aware that they have more control over this than they are currently exercising. But that knowledge is simply not enough in the moment of pain, when every part of you is just screaming at you to perform the compulsion in order to relieve some of that tension. Even if you don't have that awareness that there is a deeper well of power within you, that you can tap into at any moment, hearing about it here, I think, will help you to become more aware of the fact. Getting out of the quicksand involves us bringing more consciousness to our self-defeating thoughts and actions, and to slowly start challenging them. When we struggle with OCD, we are habitually focused on the past or the future. People can go over past events in their minds, demanding certainty about their actions or analysing their behaviour in order to feel better. But so often it's never enough, and so the ruminations go on and on, leading to that person spending more time stuck in the past in their heads than actually living in the present, which we all know is the best place to be. Or future-based obsessions can lead people to create images and movies, of themselves struggling with their anxiety, or perhaps having a panic attack, or being judged in a negative light. All of this thinking and ruminating, though, it actually just creates the very thing that we are trying to avoid by doing the ruminating in the first place, and that is anxiety. It's so self-defeating, and we know it is, but it's also very addictive. and can be incredibly hard to change. But what is becoming increasingly clear is that we truly can change and don't need to be stuck in the quicksand. Up until fairly recently, science believed that by age 35, the brain and personality were effectively set in stone. That it's very hard to change someone's behavior after this point. But then along came neuroplasticity, and our view of the brain began to change forever. The truth is that through consistent focused practice, we can change our brains for the better. Whilst it may be true that if you've been thinking in a negative way for a long time, that you have neurocircuits that are built up around this, but it is also true that you can change this, and this is incredibly exciting because obviously if you can change that, then you can change your experience of OCD. Literally every time you catch yourself in the moment when you're about to perform a compulsion and you make a conscious decision to do something else, you are creating new neurocircuits in your brain. It can be something as small as delaying performing the compulsion or sitting with the anxiety for 5 minutes without doing that compulsion, or even just going through your day, batting off and defying those compulsions as you go. Where you put your attention on a regular basis will help you to change. Choose to put your attention on something positive, on your values, on taking positive action, and even visualizing your success. Focusing on the future with a vision that you wish to create is a way in which you can begin to undo this negative conditioning and to replace it with the reality that you would like to experience in the future. Thoughts are just thoughts and are harmless, but constantly focusing on the negative with rumination creates negative emotions like anxiety and confusion. Now, obviously, the counter to this is to start taking control, to consistently disengage from the negative thinking whenever we recognize that we're doing it, and to congratulate ourselves each time we are successful at this. Practice routinely closing your eyes and imagining the future you would like to inhabit. Play with generating the emotions that you would like to feel as your future self. Watch yourself in a setting of your choice. Observe yourself looking confident and more accepting, and pay attention to that body language. Doing this on a regular basis will help you to train the mind to seek out the positive, to look for what is going right in the moment, instead of perpetually looking for what's actually going wrong. This isn't going to change things overnight, but it is going to get you moving in a new and exciting direction. And if you can commit to it over time, it really will begin to bring some amazing changes. As with all of these techniques, play with it, have fun and find what works for you. But be assured that seeking out the positive in this way is going to serve you. One final thing though, this process is not in any way about eliminating anxiety and uncertainty. It's about truly learning to accept all of our emotions. We can't stop the fact that sometimes triggers are going to pop into our minds, but we most definitely can change how we respond to them. And this is what this approach is all about. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope that you found that helpful. As always, if you want to get in touch and organize a free session, or if you have any questions, then do please let me know. Many thanks. Just a quick reminder that if you want to get a free session, all you need to do to get that is to head over to my website, www.robertjamescoaching.com, and there you can leave me a message and we can arrange the free session. And now just a quick reminder of my disclaimer. Any information that you view on my website, Instagram page, Facebook group, or anywhere else online, or any information that you listen to on the podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for actual medical or mental health advice from a doctor, psychologist, or any other medical or mental health professional.